Welcome back to Sirenlore Lounge. In the last episode, we were talking a lot about small steps and how they create a legacy, and how becoming doesn't happen all at once, but gradually. It's symbolic that we're in the car today because we are moving, and that is the theme of this: moving, attracting. Today in this episode I want to talk about chasing and attracting. I think for a lot of us, we often feel like we always have to chase opportunities, chase achievements, chase relationships. When you step back from chasing, you notice things seem to start attracting. One of the biggest lessons that I learned about attracting is not accepting everything that comes your way. It's important to be selective. It's about choosing what aligns with you. Recently, I had this experience where someone approached me in the dating sense. And there was nothing wrong with this guy. He was very respectful, very nice. The interaction was okay. There was nothing that was giving red flags or anything like that. It was just a nice interaction, a guy wanting to get to know me more and ask me out on a date. But something inside me knew that it just doesn't feel right. And in the past, I might have ignored those feelings, pushed them aside. I may have even questioned myself, or even just gave it a chance just because it was presented to me. But this time it was different because I trusted myself. I think one thing that people don't talk about enough when you do start attracting is you have to be ready for it. Just because you're attracting things does not mean it's the right thing. It's just bringing in options, people, situations, opportunities. And when you're not grounded within yourself, it's very easy to say yes to things that aren't right for you. And self-trust is what helps you choose, especially if you're an empath. If you're an empath and there's certain situations that get presented to you, please look after yourself, because you can get really pulled into situations. It's really important to build self-trust, because when you have self-trust, it's very easy to make judgments and to trust that. Sometimes confidence is trusting your instinct even if someone else doesn't agree or doesn't really understand your choices. And boundaries are not rejection, they're direction, and that's really important to understand. Boundaries are your guide. They're your standards. One thing that I've learned is there's a power in letting life meet you where you're at, in allowing yourself to receive instead of constantly chasing. And allowing yourself to receive is not sitting back and doing nothing, but doing the inner work, growing and showing up for yourself daily, so then you can build that self-trust, that self-respect, and that self-awareness to know exactly what you want. Before we end today's episode, try and think about maybe one thing that you've been chasing recently that instead you could take a step back from and allow yourself to receive from the situation. You don't have to chase everything. You're the director. Be selective about what you choose to be a part of your legacy. Thank you for spending time with me here in Sirenlore Lounge. This has been The Feminine Frequency, and remember to receive more than you chase. And I will see you in the next episode. Being an empath is your greatest asset. Women that can be self-led and connect with their emotions are truly amazing. And that is your superpower. So don't ever think you're too sensitive. Once you build that self-trust and self-awareness, as an empath myself, I do know that when things happen, like when I talked about the experience I had recently, I felt really bad for saying no. But I just noticed that it was the empathic side. I was thinking, oh, he's gonna feel this way, and it was just my perception of his reality, which could completely be false. Let's be real. We can have our own feelings and about someone else's perception of that reality, but it could be completely different, and that's also what helped me to get through that awkward feeling. When you feel bad for setting a boundary or saying no to something, it's more kinder to be honest than it is to be liked. So I just wanted to leave you with that little bit. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I'm sending you lots of love.